Hello, everyone. I would like to tell you about how I became psychic and how I became very rich because of it. I started to develop my psychic powers consciously and made efforts to practice getting better at having psychic powers. And there was one experience I had back when I was 30 years old that absolutely blew my mind and really allowed me to understand the power that I had within me to access divine information that was around me at all times, making me intuitive and psychic. And from that day forward, I have been developing my psychic powers to apply to making the world a better place, to be a more powerful leader, to be a better entrepreneur, to create win win situations, to become a healer, to help people. And today, I have over 5,000 people in my group coaching program, Raw Vegan Heroes. It helps thousands and thousands of people from all over the world learn how to detox their body and heal eating raw foods. And this has been my highest level of leadership to help people really learn how to heal. So 5,000 people in my group coaching program has led to incredible financial freedom. Today, I generate about $50,000 to $70,000 per month in revenue from being a coach, from being a raw vegan coach. And one of the coolest parts of that is that I only work about 3 hours a week because I run a membership and it's highly leveraged. And I do a weekly live stream into the group to help all of my members, and so I'm only working a few hours a week and make $50,000 to $70,000 a month. Now, everybody has this potential, okay? But we don't know it. We're not tapped in to our power. And I want to tell you the story of the Matchbox cars. And what that was the first time I really knew that I had access to incredible power. And I'm going to tell you the story of the Matchbox cars right now. I was about 30 years old, okay? And I've always been kind of intuitive and psychic, but I wanted to really develop my intuition. I wanted to prove to myself beyond a reasonable doubt that I was psychic and that I had psychic powers. And so I was doing exercises with myself, little things, little things to just prove that I had these psychic powers. Well, one day, my sister asked me if I could help her move. She was moving houses, so I went over to her house to help her move. And in the hustle and bustle of moving in the mud in the driveway that day, I found an orange Matchbox car and it had the number 10 printed on the hood of the car. And I thought to myself, wouldn't it be amazing if I exercised finding Matchbox cars on the ground, numbers 1 through 10? Here's my first one. So I thought, why don't I try to find 1 through 9? I'll find Matchbox cars, but they have to be on the ground. I thought, boy, if I could collect 1 through 9, finding Matchbox cars on the ground, that would prove to myself beyond a reasonable doubt that I was indeed psychic and had an incredible ability and power. So the next day, I was sitting in a coffee shop having a cup of coffee, and I was 30 years old at the time. I don't drink coffee anymore. And so I was doing a little mental meditation. I closed my eyes and I asked, where can I find Matchbox cars? And right at that moment, when I went inside and I asked, I got a flash of this cemetery, which was about a 30-minute drive away. It's called the Catholic Cavalry Cemetery. I knew it well, but it was a 30-minute drive. And I thought, oh, I don't really want to drive for 30 minutes. That's far. But I was like, wait, I'm practicing my intuitive abilities. If I get the feeling or the impression, I should listen. So I inconvenienced myself that day and I got in the car and I drove 30 minutes to the Catholic Cavalry Cemetery. Well, I pull in to the cemetery and I think, well, where do I go? It's a huge cemetery. It was a really big one. I just thought, okay, I'm going to drive through and I'm going to wait for a psychic impression to tell me to stop. Okay, so that's what I did. I drove into the cemetery and I was driving around and I got the feeling to stop. I stopped the car. I opened the door. I got out of the car and I walked to the closest headstone that was right next to the car. And sitting on the headstone were 2 Matchbox cars. At that moment, I broke down in tears. I'm getting goosebumps just telling this story right now. I broke down in tears. I bawled. I bawled my eyes out for about 10 minutes because what that meant was that I felt it. I felt where those cars were. I felt the Matchbox cars in the fabric of reality. I drove right to them. I knew exactly where they were. I felt it. It wasn't so much a vision as a feeling, and I knew. At that moment, I knew that I had psychic abilities. And ever since that moment, I have been working to be a better person and to help people heal and to provide the highest level of service I can on this planet. And the cool thing that I've taken with me through all these years was the inscription on the headstone that read, "On the whisper of the wind, on the smile of a new friend, think of me and I'll be there." That was a message to me that I could just think of my psychic ability. I could just think of my support system around me, the fabric of reality, and it would be there. And ever since that moment, all I have to do is think of it, and I have my full cognitive power, my full psychic ability right there with me. And it will work for you too. We are all psychic. This story is to remind you that you are also an intuitive, powerful healer. That was just my experience to remind me. You need the reminder of your psychic ability, the profound level of information and wisdom and ancient knowledge that we have access to is mind blowing. That will make you the most successful, most powerful, incredible person you could possibly be. And because I've been pursuing that, I have become wealthy and rich, not because I've ever pursued money, but because I've stepped into alignment with my psychic intuitive abilities. Now, I would consider myself to be an intuitive healer. I am a coach. I have 5,000 people in my Raw Vegan Heroes membership, but I also have private clients. I do deep dive sessions, which are 1 hour consultation calls with me. I go out of my way to make myself available to talk to people. Okay. It's not exactly easy to trade my time for money on the phone, but I know I can make a difference in the world. Okay. And so I open up my calendar to speak with people. That's something that I do out of service. Okay. And I also have a 12-week program where I work with people weekly for 12 weeks, 3 months of working with me. Now, when I speak with people, when I do calls, when I work with my clients, I'm an intuitive healer. I have intuitive impressions and feelings that I can tell where they need to go and what they need to do next. So I use my psychic abilities. Now, I don't always talk about it and I don't always tell people, but these psychic impressions often give me insights that help them at the highest level. Often, when I do calls, I request to see a picture of someone because when I see a picture, I can read the energy more clearly, and that helps me help people better. So, this intuitive level of being a healer and in my leadership has led me to become wealthy. I became a millionaire in 2024 with amassing over $1 million dollars in my savings account, which felt incredible. It was a huge milestone in my life. I'm 52 years old. So finally, at 52, I've become a millionaire, but not because I have ever pursued money. I have pursued alignment. I have pursued psychic abilities. I have pursued my intuitive understanding of the nature of reality. This has made me a powerful, aligned, capable, generous leader and healer that I aspire still to this day to bring to everyone at the highest level I can. So, if this is something that you want in your life, if you want to learn how to be an intuitive healer, if you want to learn how to get into alignment with your soul purpose work, to help people, to make yourself available to improve the world and make the world a better place, I highly recommend you get mentorship with me. Get mentorship. Mentorship is how we go from where we are to where we want to be. Again, I make myself available for mentorship because it's a lot of work, but it's the work that I'm supposed to be doing right now at this season of my life. And I won't always be doing this type of mentorship work. This is a season. And my guides, my spiritual awareness tells me that I need to make myself available to do mentorship at this level. Okay, so a couple of years ago, I started what I call my business mastermind. My business mastermind is how I help people get into alignment to create more financial abundance in their life because, after all, we need money to survive and to thrive at the highest level. Most people think they have health problems and relationship problems and different problems, but really they have a money problem. At the core root of people's problems, they have a money problem. So I want to ask you right now, if you really are honest with yourself, do you have a money problem? The answer is most likely yes. And so this is why I call it a business mastermind, because I help people learn how they can use their own gifts and their own passion and their own purpose to make money. But it's not about the money. We are focusing on alignment. So in my business mastermind, I help people understand what their next step is. I help people understand how to be a coach, how to pick a niche, how to be of service, how to open up their calendar to connect with people, how to build an audience, how to build a buyer's pool, how to build an email list, all of the tools. Okay. I meet on Zoom with my business mastermind every Friday at 3 p.m. Central Time. And on our Zoom meetings, I will screen share with all of the clients who are there how I have my website set up, how I have my offers set up, how people can pay me money, how I make $70,000 a month, every single detail. I share it. I'm transparent. I let people copy what I do, literally, because again, this is a season for me, but somebody else, this might be a miracle for them. It might be an absolute miracle for them to see what they need to do. And even if you just made a fraction of what I did, just 5,000 a month, would that help you? If you could just learn what I do and make $5,000 a month, would that help you? I'm sure it would. And here's the real truth. Just one nugget of wisdom that you would gain from working with me in my business mastermind would be worth the price 10 times over. It's $2,997 to work with me in my mastermind for 6 months, okay? 6 months of apprenticeship and training and leadership and mindset support and coaching on how to make money, how to get into alignment, how to be the best version of yourself for that much money. Okay. Now, if you just got one nugget of wisdom out of 6 months that truly helped your life, it'd be worth that investment 10 times over. It's the highest ROI of anything. The rich invest in their own businesses. The poor and the middle class do not. They do not start their own businesses. They do not try to get out of the paradigm of trading their time for money. They do not invest in building their own businesses. Building your own business is better than stocks, better than bonds, better than real estate investing. It is. And that's why it's the number one thing that the rich and the powerful people on this planet do. And it has made me rich as well. Starting my own business, I have been self-employed for the last 25 years. Okay. I started my first business when I was 24 years old. It was a photography business. I made no money, but I've strived to understand how to provide more and more value for people. And today, I generated $750,000 in 2024, crested me over $1 million in savings, and I make about 50 to 70,000 a month. Okay. I want to help you join my business mastermind. I'm going to put the link in the comments or the description of this video so you can find it. Reach out to me. If you have a question directly for me, send me a text message. The text number will be below, or send me an email, shane@rawveganrising.com. I have used my entire life's power and purpose, tapping into the fabric of reality around me, my psychic abilities, to help people, to provide value for people. That's what I do. That's what I'm dedicated to. And that has made me rich, and it will make you rich too. Okay. I hope that's helpful, everyone. Signing off for now. I hope this message was helpful and inspiring and provides some hope for the future of your life. Okay. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.